Hey, how's everybody doing? This is JJ with Deluxe Vehicle Detailing and Paint Correction here in beautiful Seminole, Florida. Welcome to my kitchen. I am going to share with you today why I made the decision to buy the Metabo rotary polisher. This is the model PE. I'll show you what it comes in. PE 15-20 RT. RT stands for rat tail. The polisher shares some body housing and some other components with a PE 15-30. That is for sanding marble, metals, concrete. Little different creature, not recommended for paintwork on vehicles. The reason I wanted to buy this rotary is I am just upgrading my old rotary, and I am in the middle of Pinellas County, which includes St. Pete, Clearwater. I'm about 25 miles west of Tampa. And of course, there's a lot of boats around here, and a lot of my clients that I take care of their cars also own boats. So I can kind of get my way into doing some gel coat work. And if you're working with gel coat, you need a powerful machine because gel coat essentially applies more friction to the pad, and you've got to have the power, so you've got to have a rotary. I will give you just a little bit of brief history. Back in about '77, my dad handed me this big, huge, heavy DeWalt polisher and said, "Son, I want you to start working on your mom's car with this, turtle wax polish, and when you can get it perfect, so there's no trails when you get finished on your wool pad, then you can start working on my business cars." And that's kind of how my detailing career, in a sense, started. I started doing some, friends, families, neighbors, things like that. When I was in college, a buddy of mine actually owned a detail business and would pull me in as the, paint correction specialist, although we didn't call it paint correction then. We just called it polishing, machine polishing. And anyway, that's kind of how I got started. So I got back officially with this business probably coming up on 2 years or so, and bought myself just a cheap Harbor Freight rotary. It is a miserable machine. Just look for it. I had it out for a minute to compare the whine level of that machine, which gets hot, it's loud, it has a high-pitched whine to it. It's a terrible, terrible machine. Everything about the ergonomics are disgusting. But for 40 bucks, I decided, hey, I'll get back and start practicing again with a rotary, which there is a certain amount of skill level to get really proficient with it without leaving any holograms, anything like that. It felt good, like an old friend, but at the same time, I didn't like the machine whatsoever. It's a terrible, terrible product. So what I did, and if you're in the market for a rotary, here's some things to consider. This is what I did. I made myself a little chart, and I was comparing the Rupes, I believe it's called the LHR 19E. Can barely read my own writing. Also the Flex PE 14, and also the Maxshine M1000. So I looked at price, I looked at weight, I looked at watts, I looked at the RPM range, I looked at the warranty, and I have a Rupes Millet that I absolutely love. It's forced rotation. So it's kind of, it's not quite a rotary, but it's more than just a DA. And when you start using a forced rotation, you realize the limitations of your average dual action polisher, which will stall on you when you're trying to work around character lines and things like that. If you are experienced with the machine, you know what I'm talking about. If you're new to this game, you're probably best really to start out with a dual action polisher. But I don't want to have you think that, oh, there's anything scary about using a rotary. There's really not. It's a great machine. You do need to practice. I would highly advise, if you're in the market for a rotary and you've never worked with one, please get yourself a body panel from a junkyard and just go have fun. Just, make some scratches on it. I've got door panels outside right now that I took, just some nails and some pieces of metal and some wood and made all different kinds of scratches on it, because no scratch is the same. And just practice, keep practicing, get yourself some wool pads, get yourself some foam pads for it. The rotary, you can put extensions on and kind of get away from the paint, so when you need to reach into tight places, you can put a 3-inch backing plate on it and get into tight areas. It's really a great tool to have in your arsenal. So anyway, back to this. One of the first things that caught me on this polisher, the Metabo PE 15-20, was that it, in 2019, this year, don't know when you're watching this, but it is late November, the 19th of 2019 right now, it won the Pro Tool Innovation Awards for 2019. Now that caught my eye. I was impressed by that because all the other big boy players were involved with this. And it was in the Corded Power Tools Awards section, and it was the winner of all for polishers. And this information comes to me partly from a tool supply company called TomboySupply.com. And they had kind of the best stats, of which I'm not going to go over all of them with you, but I'll hold this up here briefly. There are a lot of, I don't know how well that'll show up, there are a lot of stats that come with your guide on this machine. And then there's a lot of accessories that you can go on metabo.com and order. And then there is lengthy explanations of what all the numbers mean. I'm not even going to try to, get into all of this, but it's a very detailed explanation of the machine in their booklet. I was impressed. And then I went to this TomboySupply.com, and they explain like the VTC, that's the Vario Taco Constamatic. Okay, kind of German, right? But it's full wave electronics with the thumb wheel. So you can customize the speed to exactly where you want to be while you're using the machine. It's not like a click, and you're caught. You can just gently guide it, and it is like a continuously variable transmission like I've got in my Honda Hybrid. So there's no direct only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. There's every kind of speed you could ever want to customize, which I thought was cool. It remains at a constant speed under load. It's a very important factor, especially when you're working on gel coat. You want to maintain the speed, or clear coat for that matter. Speed control trigger, soft start. It's got a trigger lock, right? As you would suspect. So when you turn it on, you can push the button in. You can get it to lock at that precise speed. It's got restart protection. So, if you had a power out and then it came back on, the machine's not going to turn back on you. It's got auto stop carbon brushes to protect the motor. So if anything goes wrong, they shut down. You know that you've time to change out your brushes. 7-inch maximum backing plate, 7-inch right here, maximum amount, 1500 watt input of power, 1000 watt output of power. If you're comparing different machines, be sure you look at the input and output. they're different, and there is a wide variance between the machines. This is the rated load at Rev is 1870 I saw on this site. I think there was a little bit of a discrepancy. I think it said 1790 in the actual manual, which is what I would probably go by. This is 13.5 amps. It has a range between 300 and 1900, although it really starts at 6 according to that. If you catch that, but it does say minimum 300, but I'm not quite sure how you get to that minimum if number one is at 600 RPM. A little, I don't know, lost in translation with the German. Also, check out your torque readings, okay? You want to have a lot of torque. This has 133 inch-pounds of torque. It's a very torquey machine. Probably one of the key points that I think is important. There is several different expressions of how they give you torque. There's also vibration while polishing. They give this as an expression of 1.6 m/S2. Not sure exactly what all that is, but you can compare it to other machines, and you of course want the lowest vibration number that you can. Also, noise emission is at 79 decibels with a 13-foot cord. Also, the decibel level, I'm going to have you listen to this right now. This is on, I'll do number 1 first. I'll come up fairly close to you here. Really nice and quiet. Probably should tell you too that it comes with an external filter, and you can then clean your filters very easy by pulling this off, giving it a little bit of clean, and then slip it right back on, and it clicks right into place. Kind of awkward with this. I just got it yesterday. This is brand new, and the best part, there's the click there. The best part is about 2 hours after this machine got delivered, I got in contact with a new client that was a referral. He actually drove his truck over here, knocked at my door, and said, "Hey, I heard about you, and I want you to fix my truck. I have about a 8-foot white mark from a mailbox where I scraped up against Grandma's mailbox last weekend." And I went out and looked at the car, and there is some denting also going on, but he's got so much paint transfer. And after I upload this video, I will be shooting another video right after this on paint transfer. And I'm gonna get to be able to use this, and it's a nice flat side of the back of the truck, so I'll be able to use a nice big wool with some compound and remove everything. Of course, I'm going to start with some chemicals first, and least aggressive first. I'm not going to go right in with the wool pad. But anyway, that was number 1, right? Nice and quiet. Again, you can control anything you want. There's no clicking involved with this. It's just very smooth. So here's number 6. Is it loud? Well, it's got some sound. I mean, we are here in a kitchen with a short ceiling and everything like that. But comparing it with the Harbor Freight, it's quiet as a mouse. Very, very smooth. I'll know more once I work with it a little later here. Anyway, that was my my basic what got me to choose the Metabo. I do love a group on Facebook called Rotary Revolution. There's some guys that actually set me on this. This is made in Germany. This is just, I'm going to say right up there with the Flex. The Flex PE14 that everyone loves, and I thought maybe I was going to get my first Flex machine. I love the Rupes, but here was the bottom line, $400 and some odd dollars, compared to this machine is on Walmart.com, and they regularly put it on sale for $276.99. That is shipping included. It is from a third party. The company is called CPO. Okay, checked into them. They're a big tool supply place in Georgia, I kind of did say it comes, or I forgot to say it comes with a side handle. I don't like these. It does not come with a D handle. This was an extra one I had. It fit on there nice. I like to hold my rotary. This little Manta rubberized cap, it's very grippy, and this is hard plastic underneath here. Just an excellent feel to it as I've gotten into it. But I like to have a D handle. It just kind of more on the side of my hand. I just have a better feel for it. Sometimes I kind of put it back more. Sometimes I kind of put it up more, and that way I can really hold on to this quite well. I will say too that the overall just the vibration level very, very low. Can't wait to use this tool a little bit later. It is a progressive trigger. So you can slow it down and speed it up as you need to by the trigger. And I think that pretty much covers it. This tool I actually just ordered from Walmart.com on Friday. I think I got a big check from a job and decided just to pull the trigger. I paid $300. I didn't get it on sale, but I had seen it on sale just a few weeks ago, and I should have saved myself 20 bucks, but I didn't. And that's about that. So I thank you for being with me as always. Like, share, subscribe, hit that bell, get the notifications, and I'm going to go out and work on a seriously long paint transfer, scratch, dent. Some of the scratches aren't coming out on this truck I'm about to work on. But anyway, I thank you for being with me, and until next time, enjoy making your vehicles beautiful. Thanks a lot. Appreciate all of you. Bye.